is starting. Hello VOD users and stream users, you know what you're gonna hear in a moment. It's gonna be that song. It's gonna be that song that everyone loves, spawning here on the bottom right as the red Zerg. He is Fengzi, the most amazing Chinese Zerg ever to be created. I love this guy. You guys love him, I hope. He's shown some very entertaining games, and he has absolutely dominated, and I mean like dominated Jaystar, and his opponent in the top left as the yellow Protoss. He is Jaystar, but a little camera buddy does not want to give us a clear vision of him. And also, I apologize. I said in earlier VODs this was a best of 3. I lied. It's going to be a best of 5. I actually meant a best of 5, like you need to win 3 games, so I meant like a best of 3. The best of 3 is actually going to mean that you need 3 games to win, but that's not the case here, so blah, 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 blah. All you need to know is that's the best of 5. And, well, with that, things are looking a pretty standard. No, that's a 9 pool. That is a 9 pool that has opened up with Fengzi right now. Okay, and we have cross positions, which makes this, you know, I guess it kind of balances out. I mean, this is version 1.1. Oh, whoa, hold on. We don't need this music again. Any extractor trick. So he's going to have a different opening this game. I apologize, but we need to get back in this game. So Forge, interesting placement on the Forge. I'm not sure if that's tied against the wall. Probably is. Jaystar would know that. I would not, because I don't play this map. But why I say it's a little bit more even out, Lurker Contains have a track record of people complaining a lot about them, of how overpowered they are, stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. A lot of, you know, it's imbalanced, etc. Not going to talk about it, but it's not the greatest map for balance for Protoss, probably, I would say, to deal with Lurker Contains. Now, I'm not going to go say Fengzi is going to do that, because he's proven he's done completely different builds on this map, i.e. Ling Muta, which is pretty much his style, I would say, in ZVP. But aside from that, let's talk about more of why I'd say it's okay for Protoss in some regards. You know, Fengzi is going to have a little bit difficult. I mean, again, the benefit to taking a far off third base is, number one, generally because you're expanding away from your opponent. I mean, the way you look at it is that you have 2 chances out of 3 to get not cross positions, and the other times that you have positions, and then the 1/3 of the time you get cross positions against your opponent. Now, because that cross positions happen, it does tend itself to make it more difficult to take off the far third base, because in the end result on 4-player maps like this, where every base is in the corner, or symmetrical 4-bases map wherever the bases are, as long as they're equidistant from each other, cross positions is a longer route. So when your main base is cross position, you're not going to get pressured there. Your far third base is going to get pressured, which, you know, comes up later, takes longer for the defenses to come in, which allows Protoss to kill that off, punish you for it, and it leaves you, you know, pretty far behind. And then it normally falls into Zerg losing or potentially going into a 2-base all-in, but you don't already have the tech for that time, so your 2-base all-ins are actually delayed. But we'll see how it plays out. He did do a very, very I think he did Forge Cannon Nexus Cannon Gate, I think is what he did. I believe. I'm not quite sure about that. But the end result, he's going to be safe from any kind of lane pressure, despite the 8-9 pool that he opened with. And even, okay, so Fengzi is going to be a player that's just going to take the close third base. He acknowledges the fact that taking that far third base is getting a little too greedy on cross positions, so he's going to play a little bit safer. That's totally fine. I don't think anyone should get mad at him for that. Enough said there. Layers morphing on the natural, something that Fengzi has done in the past. And what do we have here? Feed me some Protoss information. Like, do we have a Cyber Core going down? We probably do. This would be the time the Cyber Core comes down. Then we can verify if it's going to be two star. It's not to where two star Corsair or something like that. Could also be Scout. Someone gave me some reasoning that Scouts are pretty good against, or actually kill off Overlords faster than Corsair do. At least when you, instead of like before the second one comes out. I don't know why. But scouts are god-awful. And I think that's the only time I've ever seen someone defend the use of a scout in legitimate play. But forget that. I think that was in YSL. But then again, after 32 hours of casting, it gets a little tiring. So things are looking very standard for both players. I mean, Jaystar is opening again. He did a Forge FE with the Gateway, 4-minute Cybercore, followed up with a Stargate first, then Citadel, getting up the Force Corsair. He may send it out. I generally think the best way to play in a standard ZVP for Protoss, at least to open with, do that if you're gonna play standard at least. If you're gonna do that standard build order, do that. I would throw down double cannon just so you're extra safe, but that's only me because you're teching to follow this up with. Do Forge double cannon Nexus Gateway. 4-minute 420 I think is actually what it would end up being for Cybercore to go down. Then you follow it up with Stargate, Citadel, rally the first Corsair out. You normally at least guaranteed about a 95% chance of getting off an Overlord, especially one that's going in the main base to get scouting information. Then build up to 3 or 4 or 5 of them, especially against an opponent that will probably go mutalisks on you. It's not a bad build order. Now on this map though, regarding that build order that I said, that's what I would recommend. On this map it's a little bit different because of the high potential for lurker contains. Mostly, I would generally say Zergs generally do Hydra play, not Lurker or Muta play. But this map with Fengzi, I totally understand why Jaystar is doing a completely standard build. It kind of covers all of that. It's not a hard counter, but it's kind of a soft counter to all of that. And then we'll have to see how Fengzi goes on from there, because it appears that he did throw a Hydra Den down. It's a little late. Because I don't believe he's going to be able to get Lurker Aspect right away, but he's probably going to go Lurker Aspect, set up a Lurker Contain. And again, it's the same principle of what I've always said. This is where I find my fundamentals for ZVP from, for Zergs, how to win it. Because up to this point, though, I mean, I've been casting low league stuff. I've seen 2 gates win games. I've seen standard play. Zergs just fall apart against Protoss. Now I'm completely, I think this is a pretty balanced matchup. Right now, actually, I feel like Protosses aren't doing well against Zergs. But this is really, really high-level play, and Fengzi is just an absolutely amazing player. But we've actually DTs, though, actually from Jaystar. So he's actually playing standard is actually not what he's going to be following it up with, sadly. And what happened to my music, brother? There we go. It should start streaming again. And yeah. So I think we're going to have like Lurker Contain from, and then we're going to have DT play. It depends on how effective the DT Corsair are. DT Corsair is definitely a very standard, very highly used build order from Chinese Protosses. I tend to forget it because I don't see it as much in foreign tours. But in China, this is a fairly standard build. Of course, you get the Citadel and Stargate, and then you can go whatever tech you want. You can throw down a Robo and get support bay for all I care. But I'm just saying, and then you can follow that up with Templar Archives, but generally I wouldn't say it's the majority from that Templar Archives you fall off the Citadel with. It's not normally DTs. It's normally High Templar to defend Hydra Bus. I think foreign Zergs are a little bit more, foreign Protoss is a little bit more defensive, like to get that storm out a little bit quicker than, say, Chinese. Might be because of the skill level cap that these players have is a lot higher than what we normally see in the foreign scene in terms of tournaments that I cast. And I'm not going to call Gamma Cup LRM at all bad about this, but he has Overlord speed, so he's getting a nice scout off. And this is what, and if you're looking at the positioning of Fengzi, the rallied units, it will tell you everything. He rallied them on there for the purpose of a contain. He's going to morph lurkers up there. Can't get out of there. Fengzi is able to take a 4th or 5th base if he chooses. He can take over 3 bases, which is very common for him. He doesn't normally expand. He normally builds up an army. He sets up this work to do like this ultra prong drop that just kills off Protoss. It's insane. He's going to kill off this cannon, potentially kill off the Forge to follow it up with. It is going to stop +1. No, he will not. +1 will finish in time. And with that, we'll see how it goes down. Because honestly, I'm a little surprised Fengzi didn't go Spire Tech. Spire unit, excuse me. Which would be Mute Scourge. But anyway. He's getting up to like 4 or 5 gates now, so I'll be interested. But he's doing that thing, like I said earlier, to keep like 4 or 5, you know, Corsair hotkeyd, just in case, because Meatless from Fengzi can come at any time in the game, and I mean any time. So always having that kind of, you know, in the back pocket to defend definitely will help. But here's the Lurker Contain, and like I said, this is version 1.1. No drop play though. It's making him probably overreact, but sending in that many overlords though that have the potential of just getting sniped off is a little odd. But he's just trying to fake a drop and maybe force the reposition of his units so he can do it. And that's what I said before. Fengzi loves to potentially like fake drop or actually drop the main base and force the reposition of the army to defend the main base, and then you kill off the front door. You go in there, kill off the natural. What can Protest do at that point? It's a brilliant plan. We have a DT drop though, but this is how good Fengzi is. He's like, you know what? You have a dropship. Yeah, no, right? No, you're not gonna have that. These Corsair though could probably summon off overlords, which did, you know, provide vision for Fengzi to snipe that off. But I mean, like that's the difference. Like Fengzi will just see those drops coming and he'll stop them, and that's why he's so powerful. It's like, well, how do you stop a Zerg doing this build order? You might be asking yourself, well, you know, drop him. Attack him on his own turf. That doesn't happen against Fengzi. He's a god. That doesn't happen. That being said, you know, it's hard to beat the god. I call him the god. But the god is actually under the Emperor, don't get me wrong. Boxer will always be top of my heart. And, I mean, this is how powerful. You have a ridge, you have a choke point, you have lurkers. That storm didn't do anything. It actually was on the outskirts of that storm. And clumping them all into the storm is not how Fengzi should be going about dealing with this. Here come the Zealots. Here come the Zealot and Archon. Here come the Hydralisks going on the high ground. They're going to prove to be very effective. They could even try to target fire these Archon while they're morphing. Very well done. Killing off an Archon before it can even finish morphing. Zealots coming in here again. They're going to get instantly melted away from the amount of lurkers. I think I was counting like at least 8 maybe. I'm counting again. 4, 9. I think we have 10 or 11 actually in there. Now 12. And Fengzi is free to take it. He took the center base. I couldn't sure if that was pixelation, but I'm surefire that's not just random units, rally dudes. I think I actually see creep there. I think he actually mannered the center base, so he feels very confident. Jaystar was like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna go for goons. But it's like, Fengzi like just reads that and be like, you know, dude, I know your timing about goons. Well, I'm gonna make lings before your even goons are out to outpredict you and then completely raffle stomp your goons. And look at this. Those goons are toast. They can't do anything. They have to instantly retreat every time the lings go in there. He may lose 1 or 2 lings. But I mean, how do you stop this? You don't. Of course, you know, Jaystar would be the person to stop it. I mean, who is bigger competition against Fengzi in this matchup in ZVP? Who is the most notoriously probably the most skill-renowned Protoss players out there, at least fan-renowned? That's Jaystar. And if Jaystar is looking like he's gonna get 3-0'd here, guys, that's insane. This guy's good. Fengzi is amazing. Or Fengzi, whatever people call them. But God, this guy's good. And I just wanted to point that out there. And again, no disrespect to Jaystar, but he has been outclassed this. And Jaystar being outclassed is something to talk about. He outclassed Jonhoon, who went farther than the CSOL. I think was the finals 4-0? Or is it 4-1? But I mean even that ZVP, Fengzi dominated. And it's just from this build order that he does. He literally opens up, he pretty much finds a way on a map to contain you off 2 base, follow up, dropping the main base, force the reposition, your front door's dead. He's gonna wait for that. Or wait for him to starve out. Like, that's how he'll be patient and wait for that. Which might be a reason why we might have another 5 minutes in this game, potentially. But I think generally people would say this game is over, but wow. Just wow. I mean, look at the lurker spread too. I mean, even at this one game, players will tend to, slip up they'll make their lurkers, go on top of each other. Not here. Like I think the best storm possible might hit 2 lurkers, maybe 3. There's the GG. That will conclude this $100 show match. So congratulations to Fengzi, if you're actually pronouncing Mandarin correctly. Fengzi, if you are an American or an English person that does not know how to speak. But this is what Chinese OSL provides. This is why I recommend people watching it. It generally, this CSOL doesn't normally get as much coverage. Now that might be because A, VODs are bad, which I can understand. B, my commentary. But I would recommend people telling people about these VODs. Not even my casts, but simply because of the high level of play that we have here. And because there's no replays available. I'm trying to get my hands on them, but there's a language barrier. But then enough said for VOD viewers. Thanks for watching.